You're listening to AM 1220 KDOW, the Bay Area's business leader. And welcome to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy, helping you explore new marketing and social media trends that will give you that extra punch in your marketing strategy. Now, here's your host for Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy, Erica Taylor Montgomery.
Good morning and welcome to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy. I'm your host, Erica Taylor Montgomery, and Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy is a show that covers everything you need to know to punch through your competition and deliver a total knockout when it comes to public relations, marketing, social media, branding, advertising, and so much more. I'm the founder and CEO of Three Girls Media and Marketing, which is a public relations and social media marketing agency that really specializes in working with small and mid-sized companies with very cost-effective solutions. You can find us online at threegirlsmedia.com. That's threegirlsmedia.com. And thanks so much for joining me this morning. We're live and we're going to be able to take your calls throughout the hour. We have another terrific show lined up for you today. And today it is all about promoting your business to the media. In round one, we're going to be talking with an award-winning former newspaper editor about how to work with the news media. We're going to be talking about what types of print publications small businesses should try to get into, what print reporters and editors look for when they're evaluating a story, and then what you should not do if you want to stay in the good graces of the media, and much, much more. And then in round two of Punch today, we're going to be talking with the owner of an online PR firm that regularly gets their clients national press exposure. And the topic is going to be how to use online PR to promote your company. We're going to cover what your business needs to do to prep for a public relations campaign, some of the best free PR tools that small business owners can use, and how you can maximize your 15 minutes of fame, as well as much more. And I know you're likely to have questions about working with the media, so I encourage you to call in to our live show today. You can reach us toll free. The number is 800-516-1220. That's 800-516-1220. So let's jump right into round one of today's show, how to work with the news media. My guest is Paula Pant, who is an award-winning former newspaper editor of the Colorado Daily, and she now writes on a freelance basis for media outlets including The Motley Fool, MSN Money, the AARP Bulletin, and Dining Out magazines. And her website, affordanything.com, has over 15,000 visitors a month. Paula, good morning. Welcome to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you on the show. This is a topic that we have not covered so far, so I'm really excited to dive into it. And, you know, before I actually started my PR and social media management agency, Three Girls Media and Marketing, I was a broadcaster here in the San Francisco Bay Area for almost 20 years. And I had people coming to me all the time, small business owners, medium-sized business owners, wanting me to help cover their company or their service or their product on the air. And I know firsthand that having a relationship with a reporter or an editor is often really helpful when you're trying to get coverage for your small business. So what do you suggest in terms of how small business owners can go about forging a close relationship with reporters from print news media outlets?
The first and foremost thing, if you don't remember a single thing that I say for the rest of this half hour, just take away this one piece of advice, which is think about what the reporter wants and give that to them. Be there to serve them and not to push your own agenda. I can't tell you how many times, and you probably had the same experience, where a small or mid-sized business owner would come to you and say, hey, can you write a story about XYZ? And you're going, wait a minute, I've got an editorial calendar. I've got, as a reporter, things that I need to cover. And this doesn't fit into what I need. The pitch that they're trying to get you to write about may or may not even fit into like the scope of what your particular publication covers. And so they're, the business owner is trying to push one particular thing without regard to or an understanding of what you as a reporter, your scope as a reporter. And so don't do that if you're a business owner. Pay attention to what the reporter wants. Be there to help them and build the relationship. Give them the help they need initially without any expectation that they'll do a quid pro quo for you. I mean, that's how you build a relationship, the same way that you would with anybody else.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Paula. It is so important to do a little homework before you approach a reporter or an editor. You need to look at maybe some of the previous stories that they've written and have an understanding of the types of topics that they cover personally, as well as the kind of topics that the publication covers, and make sure that you are going to feed them a story that's a good fit, not only for that individual reporter or editor, but also for the publication. And like you said, you need to be prepared to hand that reporter everything that they need on a silver platter. You have to have all of your details in place. You need to have things like high resolution images available and ready to send to the press at a moment's notice. If the media requests more information, you need to be able to provide that instantaneously. A lot of reporters work on a tight deadline, and you need to be able to help them out and be there as a resource for them. And so that's really critically important to beginning to forge a relationship with the press. So, Paula, let's talk about different types of print publications and which ones small businesses should try to get featured in when they're starting out trying to get some PR coverage for themselves.
Well, in the newspaper world, obviously there are community newspapers. These are the newspapers that so, for example, in a particular large metro area, like, say, Atlanta, you'll have the major paper, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. That's what everybody thinks about. But there's also the smaller community papers that may cover one particular neighborhood. And you'll find this in every major metro area. In San Francisco, I'm sure there's many, many smaller publications that cover one particular neighborhood or one particular community.
Absolutely.
If your business is located within that community, you've already got just a fantastic opportunity right there, because the reporters and editors at those papers are always looking for new businesses or new things to talk about, new things that are happening in that community. So that should be one of the first publications that you approach. Your question was about the different types of publications. So starting with the local and the community papers, moving up the circulation chain to larger and larger publications. When you get to the major metro paper, that's when you really start getting into, as you were saying earlier, that's when you start getting into the situation where you'll have such a huge staff of reporters that everyone writes about a very particular topic, and it's called a beat, and everyone's got their beat. And among reporters, you don't tread on somebody else's beat. When I was a reporter, people would often come to me and ask me to write a story about something that wasn't part of my beat. And I would tell them, no, sorry, this isn't what I cover. And I would give them the name of the person who covered it. But because they had a relationship with me, they would try to push me into covering it, thinking that, that they were under the impression that because I was giving them someone else's name, I was trying to hand them off. Well, in fact, that's not the case. I'm not trying to hand them off. I'm cognizant of the fact that if I, as a reporter, try to cover some other reporter's beat, then I'm imposing on my colleague's turf. And that's just not going to play well within the newsroom dynamic. So, so when you do approach a larger paper, be very, very aware of who's covering what beat. That's a little bit less important at a smaller community newspaper because typically they have a smaller staff, and so their writers tend to be a bit more general assignment.
Absolutely. I cannot stress enough how important it is to do your homework before you approach a reporter or an editor and make sure that the topic that you're approaching them with is something that they will actually cover. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk a little bit about the things that print reporters and editors look for when they're evaluating a story and deciding what to write about. And if you have questions, you can call us live this morning, 800-516-1220. I'm your host, Erica Taylor Montgomery, and we'll be right back.